Good morning. This is Chloe Dawn sitting in with Giovanni Gallucci and Alexis Parker, and this is the Daily Trend Report.
Morning, Chloe.
Morning. Drove in with Ruby riding shotgun and a cold coffee. West Texas does a sunrise right.
Sunglasses on before the coffee. Same as every day.
Today, clean label food and beverage, then outdoor lifestyle, then content, social, and AI. Chloe, you lead. What's the read?
Nestlé pulled every artificial dye out of its U.S. lineup. All the FD&C colors gone, and they finished ahead of their own mid-2026 deadline.
Travis flagged it first this morning. Kendall and Eddie had the same story by sunup.
Here's the part the trade press skipped. Nestlé was already 90% dye-free a year ago. This wasn't a change of heart.
The FDA is pushing the whole industry off synthetic color by the end of the year. Nestlé just got ahead of the gun. Compliance dressed up as conviction.
Why now, though? They sat on it for years.
Because the dye went from ingredient to liability. When a company that size moves that fast, it's reading the market and the regulator, not its conscience.
Kraft Heinz and General Mills are right behind them. 2027.
So the giant finally did the thing the little brands have done since day one.
Right. And that's the trouble for the little brands. For 15 years, no artificial colors was the whole pitch. You stood on the shelf next to the big box, you pointed at their label and yours. That line just stopped working.
The moat filled in overnight. When Nestle can say it too, your version of the sentence is table stakes.
It's a strange kind of win. You proved the point so well, the giant copied your homework.
And watch the theater while they do it. A giant pulls one die, runs a press release, and the seed oil and the ultra-processed base sit right where they were. Cleaning one line isn't cleaning the food.
Reformulation as a costume. So you move your line. The dye fight's over. The next fight is the stuff a multinational can't fake. Sourcing. Who grows it, what town it comes from. The whole ingredient list read top to bottom.
That's the tell. Nestle swapped a dye. They didn't rebuild a supply chain. A small brand with 4 ingredients and a grower's name on the back still reads cleaner than a label that fixed exactly one line under pressure.
And there's a person behind the small one. Somebody who answers the phone.
That's the moat now. Provenance, the whole formula, and trust you earned before clean was mandatory. You were right early. Say it with your chest out, then go pick the next thing they're not ready to match.
How does a shopper even tell the real sourcing story from the press release version?
Names and places they can check. A farm, a grower, a town on the map. The fake version stays vague because vague is all it's got. And the AI tools summarizing brands now are getting better at catching the ones that can't get specific. Don't run the victory lap too long, though. Most shoppers aren't tracking the dye news the way the trade desks are. They'll just notice, slow, that the label they trusted got copied and the price gap shrank. Give them a fresh reason before that happens.
One more thing. The brands winning right now lead with taste, not the lecture. True Citrus just rolled out a functional line built on plain citrus. Flavor first. The clean part is the quiet bonus.
That's the maturity. The category's done scolding people. Sell the bite. Let the short ingredient list close the deal. Okay, 3 quick takeaways before we move on. 1. Audit your whole label this week, not just the dye line. Find the next claim a giant can't match and lead with it.
2. Put your sourcing on the front of the pack in plain words. The grower, the town, the country. Make provenance the hero, not a back label footnote.
3. Lead your content with flavor. The clean story second. Show the bite. Name the 4 ingredients. Skip the sermon. Rhoback raised about $50 million. The activewear brand out of Charlottesville, the one with the grinning dog logo and the quick-dry polos.
Clark put it at the top of his report. Eddie had the same read.
The money came from a new fund called CHAMP. Elle Catterton's behind it, plus more than 200 pro athletes. It's going towards stores and campus collabs.
Read the order, though. That's the whole story. Profitable since 2016. Identity intact. Then the capital. Most consumer brands ran that backwards for a decade.
Raise first. Lose money buying customers. Post a big number. Raise again.
And when the cheap money dried up, a lot of those brands found out they had a customer base that only existed at a loss. They sold in a fire sale for less than they raised. Rhoback did the boring thing instead, sold polos people wanted at a price that covered the cost to people who came back.
10 years in one lane. The dog logo, one point of view. And they didn't blur it, chasing every next category.
That's the part small brands miss. Year 3, they bolt on audiences and SKUs to chase a bigger number and end up recognizable to nobody.
The deal structure's interesting too. Champ gives athletes equity instead of an endorsement check. They own a slice instead of renting their face for a season.
Which makes the promotion more honest and the clock longer. When the people pushing your brand own part of it, they're betting on you, not cashing a flat fee.
I covered enough bands in Chicago to know the act that's built to last from the one that's burning the advance. Same tell here. Birkenstock's out there too. First bond sale in 5 years. Capital's chasing the brands with real community right now.
Here's my caution. Money chases authenticity, then it pushes growth over it. Audiences punish a brand that loses its independent feel after a raise. The founder voice has to survive the check.
We've all watched a brand we liked get bought and quietly run into the ground.
Every one of us. The badge stays, the soul leaves. That's the absorb version, not the accelerate version. There's a real difference between capital that speeds you up and capital that swallows you and strips your name for parts.
Rhoback took fuel, not an exit. The founder's still steering.
One caution on the deal itself. Stores are where a lot of profitable direct-to-consumer brands have stumbled. Putting your goods on a physical shelf at scale is a different game than the website.
And Champ's a brand new fund making its first bet. First bets get extra scrutiny for a reason. None of this is a guarantee. The shape of it is just healthier than the raise and burn version we watched bury a generation of brands. The lesson for the independent shop. Profit isn't the small move. It's the upper hand. When you don't need the money, you pick the partner, the terms, and the timeline.
Not needing the deal is the edge. Build the brand that gets chased instead of the one that has to beg. 3 moves before we move on. 1. If you're profitable, say it out loud in the pitch. That's not thinking small, that's what lets you set the terms.
2. Pick one lane and hold it long enough to become an asset. The brand a specific customer recognizes beats the one spread thin across 5.
3. If you take money, vet the partner on whether your voice survives the check. Fuel that keeps you steering beats a check that absorbs you.
This is the one I'd move on today. A DTC beauty brand paid a creator $480 for one 30-second clip back in January. Ran it on Meta through April. 2.1x return on cold traffic.
Good number. Worth protecting.
Then May, a DM. The creator says the rights window expired. Pay $250 to keep it live, or the ad comes down in 72 hours. The contract never mentioned a rights window. Eddie led the whole morning with it. Clark flagged the same thread.
So the creator just made that up.
No, and that's the read most people get wrong. She didn't do anything dishonest. She licensed an asset. The license lapsed. She asked to be paid for work that was plainly making someone else money. That's how music and stock photography have worked for a century.
The creator economy growing up.
Right. The upper hand quietly moved, and most brands never noticed. For years, the working assumption was the brand held the cards. Budget on one side, interchangeable creators on the other, the contract an afterthought. That premise is just wrong now.
The creators got educated. They watched their own work drive the revenue.
And they started pricing like it. A 30-second video powering 4 months of profit isn't a $400 asset, it's a revenue engine. The rights window is the mechanism. She doesn't need to win a lawsuit. She needs the brand to fear 72 hours of dead campaigns more than a $250 invoice. Usually it does.
So, what do you actually do?
Audit every active creator asset right now. Pull the contracts. The silent ones aren't safe, they're ambiguous. And ambiguity favors whoever sends the 72-hour message.
Then decide on purpose. Buy it out or license it.
2 clean options and 1 trap. Buyout. You pay more upfront for perpetual use and never think about it again. License. You pay less and build renewals into the media plan like a line item. The trap is what most brands do. Pay buyout prices in their head, sign licensing terms in practice, then act shocked when the bill lands.
And the relationship part.
That's where the small operator wins. The brands getting ransomed paid the smallest possible fee for a one-off and never built a thing. Treat your best 3 creators like partners, and the surprise DM mostly doesn't come.
Because she's got more to gain from the next job than the one-time squeeze.
And here's the edge nobody with scale has. You can rewrite your templates this week. Call your 3 best creators and put fair written terms in place by Friday. The big spender with 400 active assets and a legal review queue can't move that fast. For once, small is the advantage. Here's what to actually do with all of that. 1. Audit every active creator asset this week and flag the contracts that say nothing about usage. Silence is exposure.
2. Pick buyout or licensing on purpose. And if you license, put the renewal in the budget as a line item before it surprises you.
3. Get fair written terms in front of your 3 best creators by Friday. The relationship is the thing the big spender can't copy fast.
That's the show. If today landed, here's the offer. I build content for operators who'd rather make the thing than manage it. Short-form video, carousels, articles, the whole stack, in your voice, not a template. Same pipeline that makes this show every morning. If you want that working for your brand, gallucci.net or DM @gallucci.net on Instagram or LinkedIn.
Talk tomorrow.